Hey everyone, welcome to XLR. We got round 13 today for the Tier 2 Australian Grand Prix. We got short qualifying up first, and should be interesting. Unfortunately, we do not have probably our strongest commentator, Solid Elite, as instead he has gone up to the Creator Series. So, congrats to
Just a
him on
small
that
point.
one. But
Yeah.
still a bit sad that our commentating has got slightly worse. But instead, I am joined by Voting Web just for qualifying, and then he's going to have to disappear off.
Yes. Hello
Goodbye.
there. I'll be with us for qualifying, and then I'm going to race in our partner series, the XRS. Don't forget to check out them on the socials.
Yes. Alright, so just see who's going out first. Havoc Gamer coming out very early on. Unfortunately, we do not have the official teams today as the game's bugged. Again. Not the first time. But Havoc Game is in the Alfa Romeo like we asked him to be, so that's good. So most of the drivers are using replica cars. So for example, Havoc Gamer here, this is his XLR debuts as well, so welcome to the league to him. But this is the Alfa Romeo Monza livery, which you can redeem in the game, so he's using that instead of his normal car. So we can at least recognise who he's driving for. And Hearts, that's the livery he was telling me about.
That is
yeah, he was telling me about it. He's in the Haas. Sweatback Flame here is copying a Mercedes, I believe.
That's quite cool to be fair.
Yeah, it is. It's a really nice one. Then Luke the Blade behind him is in a Williams. And then a Paro. That's a Ferrari. Not so sure about that one. VC Mike is in the default car. He's in an AlphaTauri, I think. So, Graham kind of makes sense.
He didn't choose his car, I think.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he used an AlphaTauri anyway.
Yeah.
Elite shot there. I don't know what car he's in, so he's just there in that blue car. And so we got Havoc Gamer coming around to begin a lap, and I have forgotten to make chat visible. Oh well.
I'll have a look if you want.
I can also get it up on my phone, but anyway, Havoc Gamer just beginning his first flying lap. He's going into turn 1, keeps it within the track limits. Very easy to exceed through 1 and 2, possibly not taking the most of risks.
Oh! Hearts nearly went round. Big slide.
Kept it going though. Havoc Gamer into turn 5. It's a very high speed corner. He stays nicely on the curb, doesn't go too wide. There's a yellow flag in the final sector. That's someone calling down for a lap. And now the long curved straight with the DRS now. I swear that wasn't there on release. I don't know. He's got DRS. It's not the best overtaking opportunity on the track, but
It was sensitive to that.
yeah. Through a high-speed chicane, not taking too many risks. And now down in towards the final sector, there's a yellow flag in the first sector. A bit of a slide on the rear for Havoc Gamer. He's
Ryan gone round.
What?
Ryan went round in section 1, I believe.
He's on an out lap, possibly just getting out of the way of people on a push lap. But Havoc Gamer in through the final corner, another slide on the rear for the Alfa Romeo driver. He goes fastest with a 18.9. I don't know why I had to say he went fast because he's the only driver to set a lap. Hearts behind him does a 19.7.
And Luke and Aparo behind are going quickly.
Okay.
In comparison.
And then Sweatback Flame is the next driver behind those two. Sweatback Flame on the medium compound. So setting a nice banker lap first. He goes fastest with an 18.7. Now Luke the Blade beats that with an 18.6. And Aparo is coming to the line. Also on the medium, doing a 19.0.
I hope for everyone else's sake the gap between the medium and soft isn't much.
VC Mike goes fastest with an 18.5. And
Elite's not pushing.
yeah, no, he's still got full battery. VC Brian
Oh,
just beginning a flying lap.
as he spun it in the final one.
He sets a 29.6, but that's not a representative time. Kyle's using the default car. He's normally in a Mercedes. Jammy Cash there in the pink Alpine instead of the blue, but it's the best he can do. Frosted Cheese starting the lap. That predominantly white car is a Ferrari, however.
Ferrari.
Yeah, it's a Ferrari.
I think I might need to question these guys and their Ferrari interpretation.
It's like a hybrid of an Alfa Romeo and a Haas.
Yeah, Jammy exceeded in turn 1, by the way.
Oh. Silly Jammy.
Oh, and Ryan has done exactly the same sort of idea.
Kyle through the first sector. He does not invalidate a turn 1, because he's Kyle. Kyle's I can't speak. Kyle's built different. Just like slide on the rear. I think there's a car stationary there, trying to get out the way. That was VC Ryan, I believe. Next driver to set a lap. No, that's Jammy Cash. Sorry, Jammy Cash has invalidated his first lap. Kyle's brake is slightly sticking down the straight.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's a visual bug. Cheese goes faster with an 18.0.
I think it is genuinely applying. I think that's not a bug.
Alright, next driver to set a lap I think will be Zunutzi. Why has El Plan joined the session?
He's racing a GXRS there, I do not know why. Maybe he just wanted to watch.
Oh, Gianuzzi's gone round to the final corner. And that has ruined his lap. He's still within the session. Yeah, went into the wall hard. He's lost his entire front wing. Now he's Kyle. Is going to go fourth with an 18.7. Jamie Cash behind him has invalidated his lap. We see Ryan in the first sector.
We managed to miss Frosted going to the top by half a second.
I mentioned it. I didn't miss it.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Power up to the line. He can only improve by 1 position on 3 lap old mediums.
That's a good time to pass him.
Yeah.
Very good job there. In his makeshift Ferrari.
At least it's not quite as makeshift as Cheeses.
Yeah.
At least it's red.
Oh. Purple mid sector for Ryan. Oh, that nearly went round.
To be honest, it's the F1 game. It probably isn't purple.
My goodness. He was on for a decent little sector. Probably he would have gone P2.
I think he's still going.
No, he's not.
No, he's stopped. Yeah, he's backed off now.
I'll keep an eye on Jammy.
White car, that's Hart, who's just starting the lap. And then Kyle's there on an in lap, I believe. Is Jammy Cash pushing again? Yes, he is.
He's slow on the RF.
It's Alpine coming into the final couple of corners. The Alpine with the Mercedes engine, because it's an F1 World Car. He's almost gone around to the final corner. He's somehow kept that going and goes P9.
I'm driving a Red Bull tonight, and it's the most cursed thing having a Red Bull with a Mercedes engine. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But hey.
Havoc Gamer starting his second run. So he's going to be doing that. While he is starting his run, I'm going to try and make the chat visible, because that's probably a good idea.
That would be good. I'll keep you updated on Havoc. As he goes now down into turn 3, I need to spot a nice late braking point there and get to that apex really early on the power, and then swing it back left towards turn 5. This is flat out. Yes, it is. Right, and now at the end of the first sector, he's down on his time by 46,000. He's not looking to improve there.
He can possibly recover that time in some of the latter sectors, because it was those ones where he started making the mistakes. He was very tentative in this next coming chicane, not wanting to commit too much on his first flying run. So let's see what he does this time around. Yeah, he's so much more confident, but he goes wide. Somehow he keeps that legal. I'm not sure quite how he's done that. He went really quite
was really
wide.
cool, yeah.
And gets it turned in. Gets the outside curb. A bit too much wheel spin on the exit, but shouldn't have cost him too much. Had to lift there on the exit. That won't be ideal for him. And now coming into the final corner, he backs out of his lap.
Yeah, he was 2.5 tenths down through that mid sector. Not
Yeah.
surprised to see him back out of that one.
Elite's bashed into the wall, but he hasn't actually. That's just some form of desync, I believe, between spectator
Step back.
and
Still out on the medium. He's gone P2 on the medium.
yeah, he's been doing a lot of good runs on that medium compound.
That's an incredible actually.
Yeah, he's done
And Elite
4 runs
goes
on
down
those
far.
mediums.
That was very tentative through turn 1 from Elite. There's more time than that.
So down into turn 3 or 4. He missed his apex a bit, but does seem to have a lot of downforce in that setup. Because he seems to be missing all his apexes, but he still seems to have a lot of grip. He's almost a tenth up on his previous best through that first sector, and now he's getting that long run down this second DRS zone of the lap. Flat out 320 kilometers per hour. Now over 3 tenths up on his previous best. Still fairly tentative lap from him. So there is more time on the table to be had. Coming through the final sector now. I'm guessing he gets it rotated. Even when it seems like he can't possibly. He's got a lot of downforce on that setup. He goes slightly wider than he liked. I think it's completely flat out. He has so much grip through that final corner, and he goes P4. Very nice lap there from
The 10.5 up.
whatever car he's in.
I have no idea still.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Frost did a very good middle sector then.
There's
10.5
a white
good.
car around there as well. He's in a white car. That's hard. That's okay. Right, Frosted cheat into the final sector. There's a 10.5 up at the end of the middle sector. He's already fastest by over a tenth. Is he gonna go even faster now? Yes, he is. He does a 17.5. It's now 6 tenths clear at the top of the table. So
As Gianuzzi invalidates.
VC Ryan seems to have made a bit of a mistake. Seems to have a bit of gravel on his tyres as well. Elite is coming into the pit lane, I believe. Luke the Blade is on a flying run. No, he backs off that one.
Harry missed the gear in this lap, and that high speed chicane. That would have cost him a couple of tenths at least.
He's still on his previous best. Harry does have more pace than this. He's not 1.4 seconds slower than his teammate. He possibly hasn't hooked up the greatest of laps so far. Full throttle now down on the run to the line for Aparo. He can only improve by 3 tenths up to P5.
Kyle's 6 tenths up.
What?
Oh, he's off the track.
Yeah,
Kyle was 6 tenths up, but it went
he
off.
abandons that.
Yeah, he had all 4 wheels off the track, but somehow didn't actually.
Yeah, it seems to be quite lenient to that corner, possibly because it's the sort of thing where you don't want to go faster. But you don't go faster by going off track. VC runs purple in the middle sector, so he's going to be coming down to try and set his first time, but he abandoned another lap.
Yeah, big mistake.
He's not set a single lap yet in the session, as he abandons another. Gianuzzi doesn't appear to have abandoned this one. He's not set a representative time yet in this session. And he's coming into the final corner now. How much throttle is he willing to go? He's fairly close to full throttle through that entire corner. Gianuzzi goes third with an 18.3. Now the next car will be Hart.
Oh yeah, I missed Hart. He's not pushing.
It shows him flat out. Oh, he's out of fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Jamie
run out
Cash
of
is
fuel
pushing
mid-lap.
behind.
Jamie Cash is invalidated.
And Kyle will be the next one to push the ladder.
Yeah.
He was a bit up to the mid-sector, I think.
Jamie Cash is pushing again though. But Kyle coming round the final sector. Through the last couple of corners. Kyle a bit of sliding on the rear. But now on the run up to the line. What lap time will Kyle do? Breaks the line, goes P4 with an 18.3.
I think there's more time in that. He was down on the RS by the end of the lap.
Jamie Cash is going again. And someone came up right behind Kyle. That was Havoc Gamer in his Alfa Romeo one-off livery. Jamie Cash coming down to the final sector. He's 300s up on his previous best. He's very tentative through that chicane, and he backs out of another lap.
Car was all over the place through that.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to have any confidence in it, and I can see why.
Jamie Cash is going to hope he has more luck than the Alpines did in real life using the same livery around this circuit.
I can't quite remember what happened there. Would you like to elaborate?
Many things.
Yeah.
Many baguettes were thrown.
Yeah, they're not happy with each other.
Hart is still slowest so far. Ryan's still not set a competitive time.
Now, Sweatback's still in the box. There's 4 guys. Oh no, he's coming out of the pit stop.
Frosted Cheese is still in the box though. Giannucci's also still in the box.
Giannucci's coming out now.
On my okay. Frosted Cheese though doesn't. I think he's confident with his time. I mean, to be fair, he is 6/10 ahead of the next car, but
I think his mindset is like, I think only 1 or 2 people can beat us, so I'd rather have an extra set of stops than be on pole necessarily. And he's still got a good chance of pole.
Jamie Cash is still pushing, but he's got no ERS to work with. He could back out and go for another run, but he's not doing so. He's pushing on this one with no ERS. This will be probably his final lap of the session, but now he backs out.
That's way too late.
Yeah, he's not going to have any ERS for his next run. No one finishing a lap this time around. Luke the Blazer starting one. There's a yellow flag. Someone's gone off.
Elite will only start P5 at best. He's invalidated his lap. He will not get another one.
Yeah, he won't. Can he get around in time?
It'll be very tight. I'll keep you updated on if he makes it or not.
Yeah. Havoc Gamer is the next to cross the line. He goes into P5 with an 18.4. Nice lap from him. He's followed by Giannucci beginning a lap, and Kyle just finishing his lap. He goes P4. Kyle will not go any higher than P4 on the grid.
Arts has got Elite right in front of him through this final sector. That'll be a bit of a distraction for him.
Elite, will he make it? I can't tell because there's a yellow flag in the first sector.
No, he hasn't made it. He hasn't made it.
Oh no, he's not made it. Mike is in the wall. He's stationary at turn 2.
Only P8. Only P8 for Aparo.
Hart's only P10. Greasy Ryan through the final sector set his one and only time in this session. If he goes fastest, I'm gonna lose my mind. He goes P4. That's a very solid lap, considering that's his only one in the session. Giannucci struggling with the rear through that chicane.
Havoc's off.
Yeah, he's already done all he can do. Alpine leaves the session, as he was always going to. He's coming through the final couple of corners. For Giannucci, this is all or nothing. Is there someone else on the lap? I don't believe so. No. Giannucci up to the line. What does he do? It's an 18.0. Puts him into second place. Giannucci will be starting from the front row.
that Frosted has done it. Max Verstappen absolutely dominated here today
Only
in
one lap
qualifying.
required. They're talking in an Aussie accent on the loudspeaker. I just noticed that. You know how there's a loudspeaker in the pit lanes?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're even that's in an Aussie accent. That's actually
Oh, it
really
is
funny.
as well.
Yeah, that's actually really funny. Okay, we got 6 minutes.
Yeah. I think I will have to leave before lights out.
Yeah, no worries. I'm hoping I can get. Sweatback Flame forgot to go on. Forgot to use hot lap mode. I'm gonna see if I can get our pole sitter on for an interview.
Okay,
If at
I'll
all
stay for this.
possible. Let's see. I don't know. We appear to have a dry race, so it's always good for our drivers. I don't know. Oh, that may be okay. Who else had a good quali? Giannucci went up at the end. See if I can get him on board. Oh, someone's readied up. Oh dear. I think someone didn't know about the ready up rule.
Restart.
Oh joy. I wanna. I
Who
wanna.
did it?
I don't know. Elplant
I don't
and
know.
me. I think.
Oh, he said just do it now.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I've still not left the session. Oops.
He's in meeting.
Yeah, I see. I see. Move him there. Has that worked? I believe it has.
Yep.
Alright. Hello, Frosted Cheese. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. So, you definitely appear to have the upper hand here in after qualifying, getting that pole by however much it was, not even needing to do a second lap. So, I mean, how did that go to you? Like, were you confident that you had the time and you didn't need to do a second lap, or were you just trying to save some tires or something?
Yeah, save tires and the confidence was just, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's always unfortunate when people save tires and then we have to do a lobby restart, but it's just how it goes
Yeah.
sometimes.
I mean, do you think you've got a good race car today? Or do you think it was a one-shot, one-drink body?
Don't know.
There's the confidence for you.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be.
Uh, not letting anything out. We'll have to wait till the race to see, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, best of luck.
Yeah.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you. Right, I'm going to go and head off and do the XRS now.
Yeah,
Our
cool.
partner league. Shout out to them. So enjoy the race.
Yeah.
Ciao.
There's nothing really to do during lobby restarts. I mean, normally we'd podcast, but it's not. Podcasting alone isn't quite the same. Uh, it's not quite the same when you podcast and you're just alone. But you can. I don't know. We've got most people back in, not everyone. We got 10 back in out of the 12 we had. So we're just waiting on 2 and then we'll be going. All these guys with A licenses. Imagine I've got a D. Because imagine having an A license when you could have a D license instead. I mean, what happened was just that I just did. I was doing some messing around lobbies with my friend, and then they left effects license level on. So now I'm a D because I got disqualified from both races. One time I'd argue it wasn't my fault though. So hopefully Junixi remembers the grid. Yeah, he's got that on custom grid, so that's good. Lobby restarts are never fun. So we're just really waiting for everyone to get back in, and then we'll be able to go. I'm expecting an incoming friend request at some point. I don't know if I am gonna receive one or not. I'll be being updated. Let's get got nothing better to do, so let's go and get an update from our friend and commentator Solid Elite down in the Creators series and how that's going. They're currently on an ad break. Great. Once this ad break goes, we can see how they're doing. Let's see, lap 24 out of 53. Mr. Solid Elite commentating. Sky still leading from pole, followed by Tom97. The front two still not yet to pit. Then Raisin, Tim, and Mardik and Vince behind them. And Punju and El Taco Man. Then Tom, championship leader. And then no retirement yet. So hope he's having fun over there. And I'm hoping that we get a good rest of the race down here. And we are going now. Okay, we are going again. Hopefully we won't have to restart again after this. Now we are sitting here for another 5 minutes. In which time I might see if I can get another interview. Hopefully I can get another one. We'll see. Okay, he has accepted to be interviewed. Okay. Giannucci, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Alright, okay. So, you got that front row in the end. I mean, some of your earlier laps didn't seem to be the perfect, but you managed to hook it up in the end. And I just noticed. Sorry, there's a guy phasing through a glass wall.
Ah, lovely.
In the pit lane. There's an NPC and he's just waving his arm through the wall.
Typical EA glitches and all.
Sorry. Yes. I just got distracted by that. So anyway, yeah. So you got that P2 in the end. How do you say that qualifying session went for you then?
Pretty lucky. To be fair, I'm not even going to lie. I don't really like the high downforce tracks at all. So when I saw Frost's time, I thought I knew that P1 was going to be out of reach.
Yeah.
So I thought if I could just get P2, and then maybe just get a good start, then hopefully things will work out. But it's just got to be so careful because as I said, this is probably one of my weakest tracks, and I just got to be super careful. But hopefully it'll be a good race.
Yes. You're still the championship leader, I believe. So you've
At the
got
moment, yes, can't guarantee anything in life.
yeah. So you've got. So you kind of just want to stay out of trouble as much as you can.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, Frosted Cheese's interview was basically, it was a good lap, bois, a nice Kimmy.
Pretty much, it
Kimmy
was a very
response.
good lap.
Yeah,
Very, very good lap.
yeah. And then he wanted to save that set of softs, but it's annoying because you never can predict when we have to do a lobby restart.
No, exactly. And well, sadly, someone readying up too early was quite a shame. But
Yeah.
hopefully a good race, nice fair but hard battles across from the top to the bottom, and just wish everyone the best of luck.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's not too incident filled, but incidents do tend to make the races a bit more interesting for the spectators.
It does. You're right.
Sure, most of the
Not
time.
that I really don't want anyone to crash out, but if it happens, it happens, I guess. But
Yeah.
that's it's sometimes luck, but sometimes it's just an error that can spark the flames up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. You should probably get back down to the grid. We've got
Yes,
a
thank
minute
you.
and a half to go. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. I doubt I'll get another interview in that time, considering we've only got a minute to go. So, just like, we've got no formation up today, thanks to EA Wonders. And so, give it a minute or so, and we'll be straight into some racing action. And okay, I think we're about to start going, and I need to be ready and pre-hydrated so I don't have to take a drink mid-lap, mid-action. Commentating, you'd think it's easy because you just kind of talk, but you have to know what to talk about, when to talk about it, and you can't just kind of sit there not really knowing what to say. You just need to have the confidence as well. It's something you feel like anyone can do, but it's really not. It's difficult, and you need to be hydrated because when your throat kind of just dries up, you need to make sure it doesn't in an important point. Anyway, that's enough rambling. Here we go, to 5 red lights then. And it's lights out and away we go. It's a pretty good start from Frosted Cheese. He seems to have got the jump on Giannuzzi. It'd be nice if I could see the cars. Giannuzzi going side by side through turn 1. Why are half the cars ghosted? I don't know. But Sweatback Flame goes around the outside of the Welshman. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 3. Frosted Cheese still hanging out with the lead though. Followed by Giannuzzi and Sweatback Flame. Those two side by side. VC run behind them. No instance so far on the first lap. However, game that's sitting at the back of the field, unfortunately for him. Down 5, it's not been a good start for him in his XLR debut. Why not? That's clearly not 35,000 game. The timings are bugged, so you're gonna have to just bear with me. Bear with them. There's side by side action with Jammy Cash trying to get past Carl. He can't make the move that time around. Frosted Cheese had a very nice first lap, much like his whole lap. So Sweatback Flame on the hard compound, as is VC Mike and Hart. Luke the Blade, the only one opting for the soft. He's side by side with VC Ryan. Luke the Blade on the inside, pushes Ryan a bit wide. Ryan gets all out of shape. That holds up Kyle, and that invites Jammy Cash to go past Kyle. He's on the outside of Luke the VC Ryan. There's a bit of contact. Jammy Cash still on the inside now. They're side by side, slightly pushing him wide, and VC Ryan has a spin into the barrier. He's got a bit of damage there, I believe. And Paro gets past him, as does Havoc Gamer. Indeed, he has lost his front left end plate. And now the game thinks the gap's a minute. These timings are special. Jamie Cash has got himself up into P5, but that will most certainly be looked at by the stewards. And now they're just hitting that phase of like 10 drivers on the grid. And not much to talk about. Looking at the back of the VC Mike. Frosted Cheese really starting to pull away. It's a shame we can't see what the actual gap is, considering everything's stuck at 1 minute 22. But Frosted Cheese gets away. That will be outside of DRS range. Okay, it's 1.3 seconds. It's finally updated. So Frosted Cheese building up a 1.4 second advantage in the first 2 laps. That's very good, especially for the F1 games. Jamie Cash trying to break the gap to Elite behind him. VC Ryan into the pits for a change of front wing. Not the most ideal for him. He goes onto the hard compound of tyre after that contact with Jamie Cash on the second lap. Luke the Blade with the fastest first sector we've seen so far. He's on the soft tyre, so he's going to look to get past some of these drivers as quickly as he can. Not using all that much battery, but he's got plenty in store. He's going to try and get past Sweatback with the much softer, grippier tyres. Is he going to go for the inside? He's not going to go this time around. Hart's going to try and get past VC Mike before too long. Both of them on the hard tyres. Sweatback Flame trying to hold off Luke the Blade behind him. But he can't do so for now. Giannucci taking time out of Frosted Cheese ahead of him. And Luke the Blade has got a time penalty already. On lap 4, we've seen the first 3-second time penalty of the race. Going the way of Luke the Blade. Jamie Cash is already out of energy. Elite going on his outside. They're side by side into turn 3 and into 4. Jamie Cash stays ahead of the other driver. Elite looking at the inside. He won't go this time around. He's going to have the DRS though on Jamie Cash. VC Ryan now gets a time penalty. So his day's gone from bad to worse. Elite's going to go down the inside. Gets squeezed massively by Jamie Cash. I think there's been a lot of desync going on though with the game. Elite is teleporting everywhere. There's side by side further back. Kyle going for a move on VC Mike, but he backs out of it. Doesn't fully commit for the move. But at the front, Giannucci has closed in on Frosted Cheese. He'll have the DRS into the first corner. I doubt he'll have enough to get past him this time around though. Indeed he doesn't. There's a yellow flag. Who's gone round? It's Havoc Gamer, and there's a virtual safety car. Mike retires in the pit lane, and we've got a VFC for the first instant of the race. How did Frosted Cheese go from half a second up to 1.5 seconds up? I don't know. Possibly he was exceeding his delta a bit. So VC Ryan is going to pit again. Not entirely sure why, considering he's already made a pit stop in this race. Unless he's planning on retiring in the pit lane. Mike has left the session. Havoc Gamer's trying to crawl back with no front wing. Ryan also retires from the session. And the VSC and in the pit lane, and he too leaves the session. Okay, so Frosted Cheese is still out front, and the VSC comes in now. Giannuzzi has been caught quite napping by the looks of things, as that gap to Frosted Cheese has grown considerably. Giannuzzi is going to be pressure from Sweatback Flame and not really Luke the Blade, but Sweatback Flame goes down the inside of the Welshman. Giannuzzi tries to go for a switchback. Well, he can't do it. He's on the outside, which is going to become the inside into turn 3. Giannuzzi can't make the move this time around. Kyle got past Hearts as all that was going on. He's now into 7, Hearts is 8, but Hearts is trying to look into turn 5. You can't make a move there. Now he's got a Paro on the back of him. A Paro wisely not trying to make a move. Have a gamer come into the pits for the hard tyres. A Paro with DRS is going to try and get past. Although he's not going to make the move this time around. Neither was Hearts. It's all as they were in that battle for 7th. And it's still all as they were in that battle for 2nd as well. Jamie Cash might be under pressure again from a leap shots before too long. He does appear to be the faster driver and better at matching his energy. But Jamie Cash completely flirt to the floor through that final corner. He's gonna sense the pressure. Kyle, what is going on with Kyle? Why is he braking on the straight? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what just went on with Kyle there. He seemed to suddenly lose a lot of time down that straight. Nice little brake applied to his car. So I'm not sure quite what was going on there. Giannuzzi has been passed by Sweatback Flame. Sweatback now up into 2nd place. Giannuzzi down to 3rd. Sweatback's hard, possibly with slightly better life at the moment than Giannuzzi's mediums have. But Frosted Cheese still out front. Sweatback Flame looking to reel him in. Down all these DRS zones. Sweatback Flame getting quite out of shape though. Thankfully he managed to stop it from going around. But he did seem to have quite a bit of oversteer mid-corner. Or mid-chicane. Elite gets past Jamie Cash. Although they're side by side. Jamie Cash leaving the bare minimum space he needs to. Two gonna go wheel to wheel again, most likely into turn 1. Bit of desync there. It appears to be Elite going around, but he doesn't do so. Sweatback Flame now only 2 tenths behind the race lead. Is he going to go for it this time around into turn 3? With DRS open. No ERS deployed for the Canadian. He can't get past this time around. No, but he's going to stay behind, and he's going to try again down the newest of the 4 DRS zones around this Albert Park circuit, and also one of the longest of the 4. DRS is now open. He's going to go to the outside. Sweatback Flame on the outside of Frosted Cheese. They're side by side. Pole Sitter versus P3, and P3 comes out ahead. Sweatback Flame leads, but he gets the DRS again. Frosted Cheese, however, has the battery usage and gets himself back ahead. There's a virtual safety car. Frosted Cheese getting ahead at the perfect time, really. Just before that safety car came out. That was the yellow flag. I think Hearts and Kyle had it coming together. Hearts has no front wing. Kyle's dropped back. So Hearts is going to be into the pit lane. As is Giannuzzi. Into the pits he goes. He's effectively driving for Red Bull today. And he comes out just ahead of Elite, who comes in off the softs and onto the mediums. And Frosted Cheese is sped under the VSEs. He's got a drive-through penalty. And that has turned the race upside down. The race has been turned on its head as Frosted Cheese probably just tried to go a little bit too early. Picked up a drive-through penalty. And he's gonna have to serve that within the next 3 laps. So Sweatback Flame is now in the net race lead, followed by Luke the Blade and Jamie Cash. Although none of them have made a pit stop yet in this race, Sweatback Flame is not gonna want to fight Frosted Cheese too much, as he is gonna have to pull in to the pit lane. Frosted Cheese is still fighting Sweatback, even though he's gonna drop behind anyway. Frosted Cheese is gonna have to hope for a safety car of some variety, so he can, because this doesn't count as his mandatory pit stop. So he has to serve this penalty, and he'll have to make a pit stop later in the race. Sweatback Flame now leads the Australian Grand Prix from Luke the Blade. The two of them preparing to go wheel to wheel. And lots of things. Luke the Blade on the soft tyres. Those softs don't appear to be going off. He can't get past the race leader this time around. Frosted Cheese remains ahead of Giannuzzi, but the Ferrari driver will have to pit again in this race. Or pit for a first time. Visit the pit lane, possibly. Sweatback Flame 6/10 clear of Luke the Blade for the time being, but with DRS, Luke the Blade is going to really reel him in down these 2 successive DRS zones, linked by the same detection point. The gap falls down to 3/10 now, and now he gets the DRS for a second time to close that gap down even more. Going down from 6/10 a few corners ago down to 2/10. Luke the Blade can't get past this lap, but he'll have many more attempts later on, because we're only a third of the way through this Australian Grand Prix as we are. Jamie Cash still sitting in P3. Giannuzzi gets ahead of Frosted Cheese. New tyres versus old tyres on display. That's Frosted Cheese's disadvantage here, because he's going to have to make a later pit stop. He's probably going to have to hope for a safety car, which will bring some of the other drivers who've already pitted back in again to nullify his disadvantage. Luke the Blade still sticking with Sweatback Flame, but not making any moves so far. He could be looking to go for a medium tyre later, but Sweatback Flame goes wide, and he loses quite a lot of time there. Luke the Blade makes a mistake on the traction zone though, and he's dropped back. He's got a really poor exit compared to Sweatback Flame, but with DRS he's still going to gain a lot of time. He's going to gain most of that time that he lost back down this straight, although he has to back off again to not go into the back of the race leader. And he's going to have the DRS yet again for the 3rd time this lap already. And he can't make the move this time around. Luke the Blade will have the DRS yet again though. He does have that 3-second time penalty, which Sweatback Flame does not. Yeah, he can't get past into turn 1. Is he going to go for a move into turn 3? Sweatback Flame is so quick through 1 and off the exit of 2. But Luke the Blade is faster in a straight line, but he can't make the move as of yet. So, leader of those who have made a pit stop is Giannuzzi. He's only 11 seconds behind Sweatback Flame in the race lead, so he is the net race leader. Once these guys ahead come in, assuming there's no safety cars or anything like that to mess with the strategies. The Blade can't get past Sweatback Flame this time around either. He's just going to have to see that black rear wing for another lap. been sitting there in P2 for an amount of time that's probably painfully long for him. Probably wishes he could see the front wing of that car instead, but no, he can't. He's gonna have to stay behind for now. Sweatback Flame though does seem to be a tiny bit slower, but at the same time his tyres will be fresher. Luke the Blade still unable to get himself ahead. All the gaps at the moment in the field sitting. I mean, the closest one is that gap at the front, which is half a second. And around that, all of the other ones above a second and a half. All the other ones above 2 seconds now, in fact. So there are a few different strategies in play right now. I mean, we've got Elite Shot, who is the Elite Shot and Giannuzzi are the leaders of those who have pitted, but then everyone behind them have also made pit stops after mistakes of some kind. With the Blade dropping back to Sweatback Flame now. He's now further back than a full second, so his tyres possibly starting to go off. He's gone 13 laps on this set of softs. Possibly he's looking to go to mediums to the end, which I think he probably would be able to make on these tyres. And he does opt for the pit lane. As I'm saying that, Sweatback Flame is gonna know this is his in lap, most likely. Possibly he's also opting for mediums. Havoc again picks up a time penalty. Luke the Blade comes in for a set of mediums. It's a pretty swift stop from his crew. They get him back out into the race. Frosted Cheese comes in for his first pit stop. Elite Shot is gonna get past Luke the Blade and up into 5th place. But Luke with those fresher tyres will start to hunt him down. Giannuzzi is now caught up to the back of a Paro. Hard tyres against mediums, but fresh tyres versus old tyres. He's going to have the DRS this time around. He's so much quicker off the corner. He's got so much more grip from those tyres. Harder tyres aren't always slower when it comes to tyre wear and tyre temperature. Paro covers the inside, but that compromised his line through the entire chicane. Giannuzzi gets the better run, gets the DRS, and is into 3rd place. And is only 8 seconds behind the leader now. The leader being Sweatback Flame, who still has to make a pit stop. Doesn't come in this time around, neither does Jammy Cash. Jammy Cash looking to have made a slight looking like he's made a slight mistake in that penultimate corner. Giannuzzi now is only 3 seconds behind him. He's gonna see that blue car that's supposed to be a Red Bull. It's not really a Red Bull, but he's gonna see that car getting closer and closer in his mirrors. If I was Jammy Cash, I'd be slightly intimidated right now. Kyle sitting at the back of the 10 remaining. It's not been his day really today, but he's still in this race, and anything can and does change in the world of Formula 1. So never say never for Kyle. But Giannuzzi is now only 2.5 seconds back on Jammy Cash. He's gonna be the one. Be the one to do what? I don't know. Jammy Cash looking to be closed down before too long. That gap is tumbling. Very big gains from Giannuzzi. Advancing on the Alpine driver by multiple tenths a lap. Showing just how much possibly his tyres have hit a bit of a cliff for Jammy Cash. Giannuzzi's tyres are roughly half the age of his and a harder compound, so Giannuzzi will not be worrying with tyre wear. Jammy Cash probably will be. I imagine Jamie Cash's tyre wear will be possibly exceeding 50% at this point. Unless he... Oh, he's made a big slide on the rear. As I was saying, if I were Jamie Cash, I would be... I imagine he's extending for a soft stint at this moment in time. Giannucci now gaining tremendously on the Alpine with that one mistake, allowing Giannucci to be so much closer than he was before. And Giannucci will most likely get the DRS into the first corner, and that will probably spell the end to Jamie Cash's run in P2. It's not quite. And Havoc Gamer is out of the session. He's crashed out at turn 5, and that's a safety car. And that will be a pit stop for Sweatback Flame. He comes in. Jamie Cash will probably also be in. Indeed he is. Will Giannucci come in? Yes, he does. So they're all coming in, probably all for a set of mediums. Luke the Blade, however, stays out on his medium tyres. Giannucci in, off the hards, onto the mediums. Luke the Blade goes up into the race lead from Sweatback Flame, Jamie Cash and Giannucci. Aparo down to P5 now from Elite Shots. Frosted Cheese staying out on his hard tyres. And I see no reason for Kyle to come in, as he is already at the back. Indeed, Kyle does come into the pit lane. Someone sounding like they scraped the wall there. Not sure if anyone has damage. Can't notice any damage on anyone's front wings. But he did appear that someone sounded like they scraped the barriers. Can't see any damage though, so possibly they didn't. So Frosted Cheese still out of position after that drive-through penalty that he received. Kyle is having to probably like push here. That might have been out of the track limits. Thankfully for him, it was not. And he's probably having to catch up to this field. So Luke the Blade's currently leading from Luke the Blade currently leading from 6th on the grid for his Williams team, followed by Sweatback Flame, who's reserving for Mercedes Day. Hart is back into the pit lane. Possibly it was him that scraped the wall. His team are rushing out. He's just going onto a set of mediums. Car just gone flat out into a barrier. What's gone on there for Kyle? He seems to be struggling to find gear now. What is going on there for Kyle? He's just gone full speed into a barrier. Disconnection or a distraction for him? I don't know. Hart didn't appear to be the one that scraped the barrier. So, anyway, Luke the Blade leads from Sweatback Flame. Jamie Cash up 9 from the back of the grid, currently running in P3. To getting lucky with that safety car. Giannucci from the front row, down 2 to 4th. He got slightly unlucky with the timing of that safety car. Aparo up 5 from 10th. He definitely had more pace in that car in qualifying. He just couldn't properly extract it. Elite Shot up 2. Frosted Cheese down 6 after that unlucky drive-through penalty. Safety car in this lap. Kyle will not be catching the field unless Luke the Blade goes really slowly. But you can't go incredibly slowly, so I do not see a world in which Kyle catches the safety car. And especially not since he's being speed limited by the game, as it does on safety car restarts. Poor Kyle, honestly. I feel for him. But assuming he finishes, he'll still get points. But anyway, Luke the Blade is gonna accelerate off the last corner. He's not going yet. He's going late. And he goes now. Luke the Blade accelerating down to turn 1. He's not caught Sweatback napping, but he's got those gaps just about right. Sweatback Flame is going to try and get past the Williams driver if he can. There's no way through for Jammy Cash. Jammy Cash goes for a massive dive. He hits Luke the Blade. Luke the Blade has been spun around by Jammy Cash. Through goes Sweatback Flame. There's all loads of carnage out the back of the field. Luke the Blade somehow managed to emerge only down to P2. Jammy Cash remains P3. Giannucci P4. No change really at the front of the field. Hart makes contact with a lead. Hart's it into the barriers. Frosted cheats it up to 6th. Following that, Sweatback Flame has really got the jump on Luke the Blade, who's being passed by Jammy Cash down the straight. Jammy Cash gets himself back into 2nd place. Luke the Blade possibly have some damage after that contact. Giannucci's going to try it try and get past the Williams driver. He can't do it for the time being. That was all a lot of things. Luke the Blade does appear to have some damage. It doesn't, I don't think it's front wing damage, but he does seem to be slow. Possibly just struggling to get his tyres up to speed. But Giannucci is all over the back of him. But Sweatback Flame currently out in front by over a second to Jammy Cash. Jammy Cash with no battery remaining. And Giannucci sitting in P4. He is in a net P2 after time penalties get applied post race. And I think Jammy Cash will be investigated by the stewards. Will Giannucci be able to get past Luke the Blade this time around? He's so much quicker. Luke the Blade tries to cover off the inside, but he can't cover it off enough. Giannucci gets up into P3 and is now going to be hunting down that Alpine, that bright pink car of Jammy Cash. Giannucci defends his position to Luke the Blade very nicely. They might want to work together here to try and make inroads into that advantage that Jammy Cash has. Hart's dropping back to 8th, probably making a pit stop as well. DRS enabled now, and Jammy Cash is within a second to Sweatback Flame. Although he doesn't have DRS this time around because it's a double activation zone with only one detection point, that being before the last corner, and therefore before DRS was enabled. So Jammy Cash has a 1.8 second gap behind Giannucci, but that gap will be closing. Giannucci does appear to be the faster driver, and indeed it is closing, and Jammy Cash barely scrapes through with the DRS on this third or second activation point. Carl's back in the pit lane again. Jammy Cash's car sliding all over the place. He's not within DRS range. They fixed it. You're supposed to get a double DRS there. I'm not sure. Jammy Cash is now no longer within Sweatback Flame's DRS for when they next come to the detection point, which is right now. So Sweatback Flame has broken the DRS behind, and it won't be long until Giannucci arrives in the DRS of Jammy Cash in front. And he's almost broken the DRS to Luke the Blade as well. Oh, there's time penalties all over the board. That's one for, I believe, Kyle got one. as did Jammy Cash. Jammy Cash is now on his 6th of the race. Once those get applied, he could see himself dropping right the way down to 7th if no one else gets any more penalties. And that will really not be what the Alpine driver wants. Hart's at the fastest lap of the race. Giannuzzi is now within the DRS of Jammy Cash. And this move, once Giannuzzi gets within that 1 second, which he has done now, once he gets close enough, the move should be a fairly simple one for the Welshman. The championship leader, DRS active again. He's still not quite close enough, but... Oh, there's a spin! Frosted Cheese has spun. The pole sitter has spun out and is out of the race. I'm not sure how he's got out there. Because if that's a straight, possibly with contact. I'm not sure who he would have made contact with. Sweatback Flame and Jammy Cash up for the pit lane. Giannuzzi is staying out. And everyone else is pitting. Is that a strategic blunder from Giannuzzi? Or will it pay off for him? Everyone swapping for a set of softs. Because Giannuzzi is now on his mediums out in front. Kyle will now finally be able to catch his way back up. So everyone on a new set of softs besides Hart, and Hart's softs are 3 laps old, and Giannuzzi, who is not on the red-walled compound. So it'll be interesting to see how these different strategies pan out in the later stages of the race. When the safety car comes in, I think we should have around maybe 6 laps to go. By the time the safety car comes in, there won't be too many, but there will be enough for some moves to be made. And Giannuzzi is sitting behind the safety car. He might be thinking he's messed up now. Although maybe he's thinking it was the right decision. I don't know. I am not in Giannuzzi's mind. And Hartz has come into the pit lane. He's probably going to lose out to Kyle here. I think he will do. Yes, he will. Kyle is not in last. Kyle is in a position that is not last. Kyle's now up into 7th place. So Giannuzzi is currently top of the table. With this result, how would this affect the standings? Let's see. With the current standings, it'll mean Giannuzzi extends his lead at the top. Go up to 135 points as it stands. Kyle will gain a few. Aparo will probably pass the Mercedes driver. We see Mike will not score. He'll most likely lose out to Luke the Blade. Hartz will possibly get past Rocky and Ryan, possibly too. Sweatback will jump quite a few people if he gets this 2nd place. So, but we'll just have to wait and see how it goes when we get to the checker flag. There's no point saying how the standings are gonna be if they never are. So Giannuzzi is leading them off from the safety car restart. He wanted to leave plenty of space to the safety car. Kyle has had a collision, got a 5-second time penalty for it, and he's just passed before the safety car line. I don't really know. There's contact before they really get going again, but Giannuzzi has not got the restart that he would have ideally wanted. Sweatback Flame is right on the back of him. Sweatback going to go down the inside into the first corner. He thinks better of it. Jamie Cash is sitting there behind the pair of them. Sweatback Flame goes for a switchback on the exit. They're side by side, Giannuzzi and Sweatback Flame. These two battling for victory in Tier 1 just 2 weeks ago. Now they're battling here in Tier 2 as well. Sweatback Flame gets ahead of Giannuzzi and into the race lead. Jamie Cash trying to get past the Welshman. Giannuzzi goes too deep. Jamie Cash gets up into second place. And Sweatback Flame is into the race lead. 4/10 or so clear of Jamie Cash, who's burning a lot of energy here, trying to get past the Canadian driver into through the third DRS zone. No DRS active for the time being. Jamie Cash goes flying around the outside and into the race lead here in Australia. And with 4 laps to go, Jamie Cash now takes the race lead. Sweatback Flame is not going to let him get away with that one so easily though. He's going to try and get the move back on the Alpine driver. Jamie Cash practically parking it there through the penultimate corner. Can Sweatback Flame get the run he needs? Jamie Cash pulled very early to the inside. Moved back over for the corner. But Jamie Cash is now into the race lead, followed by Sweatback Flame and Giannuzzi. Luke the Blade P4. I think Jamie Cash will not keep this one on the road. He'll get, if he keeps it on the road, he'll have to put out 6 seconds if he wants to keep it on the results, because of his time penalties. Now Paro gets his first time penalty of the race, but Sweatback Flame is now will be looking to get past Jamie Cash. Jamie Cash's red light is flashing. He's got less than 10% ERS. But Sweatback Flame has 10 times the energy that the Alpine driver has. And he seems to have got the better run through the high-speed chicane. Now down the third DRS zone of the track. Luke the Blade gets past Giannuzzi up into third place. Can Sweatback Flame get past the Alpine driver? He can't. Jamie Cash practically stopping on these apexes. Sweatback Flame has so much more pace than he can use, and that's really backing him up into Luke the Blade. Jamie Cash is defending the inside, going back to the outside, going back to the inside. Sweatback Flame on the outside, goes on the outside. He gets pushed off by Jamie Cash. Sweatback Flame has been spun off from trying to go for the lead down all the way down to 6th. Luke the Blade tried to get past Jamie Cash, but he can't get the move done. Jamie Cash staying in the race lead, but he will definitely be investigated after that one. Now, Luke the Blade sitting is there, but Giannuzzi is ready and waiting. He could and probably will be on course for victory, despite being only P3 on the road. Both the drivers ahead of him have time penalties. Sweatback Flame has got himself ahead of Hutz. He's trying to make up for lost ground. Trying to make up those positions that he lost after that contact. Jamie Cash moving very late, trying to squeeze Luke the Blade, and then turning it into the apex. He's trying to defend as hard as he possibly can. Possibly slightly over defending here. Now he really parks it on the apex of that penultimate corner. It really impacts everyone's runs when of those who are trying to pass him. Now into turn 1, Luke the Blade is trying to do what Sweatback Flame failed to do, going around the outside of Jamie Cash into turn 1. Jamie Cash goes over the curve a bit, and then there's even more contact. Luke the Blade's now been half spun. Sweatback Flame's now dropping back down the order. He's down to 8th. There's yet more contact with Jammy Cash. Elite gets past Hart. They're side by side through turn 4. Hart gets his nose ahead and gets the position through turn 5. And Elite Shot goes a bit wide. Aparo gets himself ahead, but it goes a bit too deep, and Elite gets himself back ahead of the Ferrari and into 5th place. Everything kicking off in the final part of the race. Luke the Blade still trying to get past Jammy Cash, but he can't make the move. And Giannucci is still here waiting. That was the worst voice crack of my life. Giannucci still here waiting in P3. Luke the Blade is still unable to get past the Alpine driver. The Alpine's gonna try and hold him up. He does his usual parking on the apex. Will Luke the Blade be able to get the run this time? They're all going to the inside line. They're all slipstreaming each other. Luke the Blade pulls to the outside of Jammy Cash into turn 1. Is it third time lucky? No, it isn't. Luke the Blade gets pushed off, but he gets ahead of Jammy Cash this time around. There's a yellow flag. What's happened? I think someone's going slowly. That is Giannucci. Is going slowly here. From what looked like he was on a net race victory, he's dropped down to 6th. Jammy Cash is going very slowly. He's going very, very slowly. Probably with an illegal overtake on Luke the Blade, letting the Williams driver through. Now he's going to be slipstreaming him with DRS as well. Was it DRS going from Jammy Cash? I don't know. He's going on the outside of the Williams and gets himself back into the race lead. And Jammy Cash will have the DRS yet again and looks pretty set. Hutz gets a 9th time penalty of the race, which will drop him a long way back down the field. But Jammy Cash has somehow held through all of that. He's definitely going to be investigated. But on the road, through the final couple of corners, and round the final corner, and up the line here in Australia, Jammy Cash is going to win the Australian Grand Prix, but Luke the Blade takes it after time penalties are applied. But Elite, out of absolutely nowhere, on his first race in XLR, has won on time penalties. From about 8th on the road, has somehow managed to win. What just happened? Oh my god. Wow. Okay. So, on the road it went to Jammy Cash, but after everything's applied, Elite has somehow managed to win his XLR debut, followed by Giannucci, then Luke the Blade, Aparo, Jammy Cash, Sweatback Flame, Hart, Kyle, Frosted Cheese, and then not finishing is Frosted Cheese, Havoc Gamer, VC Mike, and VC Ryan. Oh my goodness. Well, that was something. I'll see. Well, can I be doing any interviews? I don't no, I've got my settings wrong. I can't. Unfortunately, we won't have any interviews today, so from me and everyone in XLR, we got next race in 24 hours to the start of today. To the start of the stream today. We've got Tier 1, where we will be in Kota. So we'll see you then. But until then, good night.